Imagine one of your state legislators called you tomorrow and said, "We're rewriting our e-bike law. You get to write the first draft." Where would you begin? Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day. My name is Vince and thanks for joining me for this special Advocacy in Action episode of Secrets of the Trails. So one of your state legislators calls you up asking for your input on a statewide e-bike bill that he or she is sponsoring. What would you want to see it look like? Would you treat every electric two-wheeler as a bicycle? Would you require licenses and insurance for every bicycle with a motor? Would you draw the entire legal line at 750 watts like the CPSA does? Or would you try to create a law that recognizes the obvious differences between a normal pedal assist bicycle, a heavier cargo type electric bicycle, and an electric motorcycle? This is important because right now many states are struggling to make those distinctions. Some laws are too loose, allowing electric motorcycles to be marketed and operated as bicycles. Others, like New Jersey, go too far in the opposite direction and risk placing legitimate e-bikes under regulations intended for motor vehicles. Neither approach is logical. So today, let's build a fair e-bike law from scratch. Not a law designed to ban anything, not a law written by manufacturers to protect their marketing, and not a law based on fear, but a law based on performance, risk, accountability, and common sense. A recipe for a fair e-bike law. Before we start mixing ingredients in our recipe, we need one guiding principle. Regulations should follow performance, operation, and risk, not marketing labels. Calling something an e-bike does not automatically make it a bicycle. But exceeding one technical specification should not automatically turn a low-risk machine into a fully regulated motorcycle either. A 500-watt commuter bike that assists someone up a hill at 20 miles per hour is not the same as a 3,000-watt throttle-controlled vehicle capable of motorcycle speeds. But a heavy cargo or adaptive bicycle may need more than 750 watts to climb hills while still operating at ordinary bicycle speeds. That's why wattage alone cannot answer every legal question. So a good law should consider several factors together: motor-assisted speed, motor power, vehicle weight, functional pedals, operational design and practice, and real-world risk. The goal is not more regulation. The goal is placing the right device under the right regulation. Ingredient 1, real electric bicycles. The first ingredient should fully protect legitimate electric bicycles. These are actual bicycles with batteries and motors that assist the rider. They have fully operable pedals, a functioning bicycle drivetrain, and bicycle-like handling and construction. They would generally follow the familiar three-class system. Class 1 providing pedal assistance up to 20 miles per hour, Class 2 providing pedal or thumb throttle assistance up to 20 miles per hour, and Class 3 providing pedal assistance up to 28 miles per hour. A reasonable definition might also include a weight ceiling, perhaps around 120 pounds, to prevent extremely heavy motorcycle-style machines from claiming bicycle status. Vehicles in this category should continue to receive bicycle treatment. That means no driver's license, no motorcycle endorsement, no title, no registration, no mandatory motor vehicle insurance. They would still have to follow normal bicycle traffic laws along with reasonable helmet and age requirements. The important point is that legitimate e-bikes should not be punished for problems caused by vehicles that were never truly bicycles in the first place. Ingredient 2, a missing middle ground. This is where most existing laws begin to fall apart. In some states, once a machine exceeds 750 watts, it can fall directly into moped or motorcycle regulation, but sometimes that creates an enormous leap. A device can go from being treated exactly like a bicycle to requiring motor vehicle registration, insurance, licensing, and equipment compliance, all because it crosses a single technical threshold. But that doesn't always reflect the actual operation or the real-world risk. So a fair law should create an intermediate category. We can call it a high-powered electric bicycle. This category could include electric bicycles between 751 and 2,000 watts, functional pedals, a reasonable weight limit, and a motor-assisted speed capped at 35 miles per hour. These machines would no longer be ordinary e-bikes, but they wouldn't be necessarily treated exactly like full motorcycles either. They could be subject to intermediate requirements such as registration by serial number or VIN, basic lighting and braking standards, an initial equipment inspection, a minimum operator age, helmets for every rider, and road use rather than unrestricted trail access. At the same time, they may not require a motorcycle license or insurance for ordinary personal use. Commercial use could be treated differently. For example, a delivery company operating heavier, faster electric cycles all day in dense urban traffic creates different exposure than an individual using a cargo bike recreationally. Commercial operators could reasonably face additional licensing, insurance, and inspection requirements. The point of this middle category is accountability without overreaction. Ingredient 3, e-motos are motor vehicles. Once a vehicle clearly behaves like a motorcycle, the law, and owners for that matter, just need to stop pretending that it's a bicycle. Machines with several thousand watts, motorcycle level acceleration, speeds above 35 miles per hour, foot pegs, motorcycle seating, or throttle dominant operation belong in a motor vehicle category. These are electric mopeds, electric dirt bikes, and e-motos. They may be excellent vehicles, but they are not bicycles. And describing them accurately is not an insult. It simply means that they should follow rules comparable to other motor vehicles with similar capabilities. That could include registration, title, insurance, operator licensing, VIN compliance, required safety equipment, and proper training. That's not anti-emoto, it's equal treatment. If a gas-powered machine with the same general speed, weight, and operating characteristics is considered a motorcycle, having an electric instead of a gas motor does not magically transform it into a bicycle. Close the fake pedal loophole. Any effective law must also address the pedal loophole. Some motorcycle-style electric vehicles are fitted with tiny, awkward, or nearly useless pedals so that they can be advertised as e-bikes. But pedals don't count merely because they rotate. To qualify a machine as an electric bicycle, they have to be fully operable, connect to a functioning drivetrain, and be capable of providing primary device propulsion, as well as being positioned so that the rider can realistically use them. Decorative pedals are not bicycle pedals. Footrests disguised as pedals are not bicycle pedals. And adding token pedals to an electric motorcycle should not exempt it from the motor vehicle law. This one clarification would eliminate a large amount of confusion. Speed matters, but so does behavior. Wattage should remain a part of the device classification, but it should not be the only factor. Consider two vehicles. One is a heavy cargo bike using a 1,000-watt motor to climb a steep rural road or trail hill at 18 to 20 miles per hour. The other is a slightly lighter 750-watt machine being operated aggressively at 28 miles per hour consistently through public multi-use trails and other crowded public spaces. Which one presents the greater immediate risk? The answer depends much more on speed and operator behavior than the number printed on the motor label. That's why a sensible law should consider both equipment and conduct. Vehicle classification determines what the machine is. Traffic enforcement addresses how someone operates it. Those are separate questions. A legitimate e-bike does not become an e-moto because its operator speeds recklessly. Likewise, an e-moto does not become a bicycle merely because its owner promises to ride slowly. So a good law will effectively punish unsafe conduct, but will also classify devices honestly. Road access and trail access are different questions. A vehicle being legal on a public road does not automatically mean it belongs on every recreational trail. Road classification and trail access should be addressed separately. A reasonable statewide framework might look like this. Class 1 and Class 2 e-bikes are generally allowed wherever traditional bicycles are allowed. Class 3 e-bikes are primarily intended for road and transportation use, with trail access determined by conditions and/or local policy. High-powered electric cycles are for road use only if used for commercial purposes, with paved trail access reserved for personal usage where specifically authorized. E-motos would be prohibited from trail or greenway access, public road use only by people above a certain age with a motorcycle endorsement on their driver's license, and can be used on private property and designated motorized off-road trails. This would protect recreational trails without pretending that every vehicle with a battery creates the same risk. Of course, no classification system replaces basic trail etiquette. All cyclists should control their speed, yield to pedestrians, give audible warnings before passing, and reduce speed significantly around other trail users. Bad behavior should never be excused just because a device falls within a certain legal class. Truth in labeling. The next ingredient may be one of the most important. Manufacturers and sellers should be required to tell the customers what they are actually buying. Every electric cycle should clearly display legal vehicle classification, nominal motor rating, maximum assisted speed, and vehicle weight. Before purchase, customers should also be told whether their state requires registration, licensing, insurance, or limits where the device may be used. A company should not be permitted to advertise a motorcycle-level vehicle as an e-bike simply because the phrase seems more marketable. And a customer should not discover, after spending thousands of dollars, that the vehicle cannot legally be registered, cannot be operated on public roads, or is prohibited from bicycle trails. Truthful classification protects consumers, legitimate bicycle manufacturers, and the public. Make the law enforceable. Finally, the law has to be realistic. A rule that nobody can understand or enforce is not a good law. Police officers should not be expected to disassemble motors at the roadside or do treadmill tests to determine whether a machine produces 749 or 751 watts of nominal power. Enforcement should concentrate on things that can be reasonably observed or verified, including required vehicle labels, maximum assisted speed, equipment, weight and construction, pedal functionality, and observable operating behavior. The clearer the categories are, the easier it becomes for consumers, retailers, police officers, trail managers, and courts to apply them consistently. So, what would such a statewide law accomplish? It would protect legitimate e-bikes. It would create a reasonable middle ground for heavier or more powerful electric cycles. It would place true e-motos under proper motor vehicle rules. It would close the fake pedal loophole. It would reduce deceptive marketing, and it would give both riders and law enforcement rules that they can actually understand. In simple terms, electric bicycles would be up to 750 watts, maximum motor assisted speed of 20 or 28 miles per hour depending on class, and required to follow bicycle rules. High-powered electric cycles would be 751 to 2,000 watts, maximum motor assisted speed no greater than 35 miles per hour, with intermediate rules applying. Electric mopeds and e-motos would be either above 2,000 watts, motor assisted speed greater than 35 miles per hour, or operationally designed like a motorcycle. They would be required to follow the same motor vehicle rules that apply to gas-powered motorcycles. The real debate should not be whether every electric cycle must be regulated or whether none of them should be. The question is whether the law can distinguish among low-risk bicycles, moderate performance electric cycles, and true electric motorcycles in a way that is clear, enforceable, and fair. It can, if it can protect the bicycles, regulate the motorcycles, and create a sensible middle ground for the vehicles that genuinely fall between them. That's not anti-e-bike, it's not anti-e-moto. It's simply drawing the legal lines where they make sense. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but most importantly, with all of our advocacy videos, please share this with others, including your state and local legislators, especially if they're in the process of drafting e-bike and e-moto regulations. You can see more details about this topic on secretsofthetrails.com/advocacy. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you out on the trails. Have a great ride.